Hello, welcome to CAVA channel. Today is June 1st, 2024. My name is Michael Chu. You can reach me at this support email right here at macbosscava.com. And if you like anything you see today, please like and maybe subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate it. So today we're going to talk about a few stocks I've been trading and how I've been trading it. One is CAVA, and also ANF, and also POWL, POWL, and Moderna, MRNA. The first stock I'm gonna talk about is CAVA. This is on my top 30 list previously, and it was slowly coming up. And this stock has been on a tear this year. There's no doubt about it. If you look at weekly chart, you can see it's a recent IPO, and it came out right here after this huge base. Like fundamentals are superb, and this week it reported, and you can see the numbers, right? Just continue to grow. 12 cents. This next quarter it's going to be 11 cents, so from 6 to 11 cents, 100% growth on earnings, and the sales are again 25% growth. You can see a lot of volume down here, right, on the blue. This is a weekly chart, and you can see there's not much red that is above average. This red line is the average. And I'm using market search for those who haven't seen this before. This is from IBD. And you can see what's happening right now. It has this huge breakout right here. This is probably the handle. Again, if you're lucky enough to buy here, that would be great. We have a small pullback here, and then we have another bigger pullback here in April. And so then it has climbed since, and then we have now another small pullback here. So let's look at the daily, how I trade this. So again, from the April, I'm going to only talk about the April, since the April pullback here. Here I was really aggressive, and I fell probably a time. So managing your risk is very quick. Then it started to break out right here. This was the first high volume day, and you can see it broke the downtrend right here on high volume, and that was my first entry initial position. As it goes up, I bought another one here. It pulled back, and probably my my stop would be around here at that time. And then as it goes higher here, I probably move my stop higher, and then you can see I'm adding right here into the highs. And then here it pulled back very slightly. This is classic. I talked about this earlier in the other video. When you see pullback, like red days that are really near the previous blue day that is closed, that means that people don't want to sell. And if you go down to here, you can see the volume kind of going down right here. This is probably a classic add. So add right here, add right here. As you add, probably move up the stop here. Sorry about all these lines. We'll clear some of them just so it's easier to see. So now we're around this level, and it went up again, and then it kind of consolidated here flat as around the 10-day here. So it just went sideways, and then it kind of bounced again. So here it make a new high. So now my stop is around this level, and the reason, my stop is around, you can see it's been tested two times, and then this one is a little bit higher, 3 times around this area. Now what happened this week was there was an earnings day, and that day it opened up pretty sharp down. So let's go to daily chart. So this was Wednesday. So go to 50-day minute chart. So right here, so probably this was like near the stop line, and I got kicked out in the morning. Again, I didn't want to sell, honestly, but I have to follow my rules. And I've said this many times. If it bounces back, I'm gonna buy back in. Of course, I'll miss a few percent, right? But that's okay. That's just part of life. That's just part of managing risk. Because in this case, it worked out. But if it didn't, I mean, in this case, it didn't work out for me because I would stop out. But imagine it went down, right? And I'll show you another example where this happened. And so, this is part of trading, and I have to manage my risk. I knew it was going to come back up. It's just too good of a stock. And the earnings were good, and I don't even know why it was selling off, honestly. Anyhow, but I had to follow my trading rules. And as after the first hour, I pretty much bought back around here. Now, the only caveat is I didn't buy back the same position that I have. So that's the only negative. But that's okay. Like, I make quite a bit of money here on this run. So then it goes up and closed really strong. Like, I couldn't believe how strong it closed. This is unusual pattern. Very unusual. And then obviously the next day it followed through, right? Because all the sellers have been shaken up. This is I talked about this in my last video from last week. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. But this is over 10 days of consolidation on this run. And I was saying, around 4 to 6 or even 7 days of consolidation is usually a good stop level. And I kind of knew when it was going down in the morning. I was like, it didn't trip in the open. I was like, should I remove that stop or not? And I have to stick to my rules because I can't do this, right? Like, sometimes I'm gonna be right and sometimes I'm gonna be wrong. And so, and this time, I stick to my rule. I got tripped, and then obviously it tripped just enough, and then it bounced back. About $2, I think. It went as low as $2 when it stopped. So, anyhow, like I said, that's part of my trading rule. I'm okay with that. And then it bounced back and really strong on the same day, and then the next day it followed through. And then on Friday, I sold a lot of my stocks, just so you know, on Friday. And part of the reason is I'm seeing some other, because on Friday what happened, right? We saw the big down in the morning. A lot of indexes were kind of near the moving averages. This was Friday, and so I got up, just so you know. So I didn't take much profit, but anyhow. So here's the level right now. So one thing I want to point out again, for those who are still holding CAVA, good for you. You probably make good money now. So where are we right now? Right, we've broken out right here. We've run a little bit, pull back, and we have gone into this run. Now it has accelerated. The question is, how much further will this acceleration go? So that's the question no one can answer. So just have to manage your risk. But if we look at the weekly chart, you can see very clearly it has broken above the upper channel line. Generally, that is a sell signal, but that doesn't mean it's going to top here. It could top next week, where it go up even higher. So I don't know, but I have gotten out. I'm done with this stuff for a while, just because it has accelerated too fast, and I feel like it could definitely go higher, especially after this big shakeout. Because most people who bought here and got kicked out, they're probably done, unless they're like me buying back in. So now all these people are gone. So all these people now who bought between here and here are the ones left, and then the people who bought between here, who's still holding on, right? Obviously, so because I'm talking in general. So so yeah, so now at this level, it's also at $92 compared to 82. It's a $10 difference roughly. So how much further can it go? I don't know. It could go up more. I don't know. But for me, I'm out just because I feel like the conditions for the market has turned a little bit more negative, despite Friday's bounce. Okay, and also I want to mention one more thing about this stock is that this is a critical high right here on Friday, because in the morning, what did the market do? The market hit a new high, like opened pretty high, and then it kind of went down sharply, right? And then it bounced back. But what did this stock do? it didn't really bounce back too much, right? Like halfway, let's just say. So anyhow, food for thought. So that's how I traded this stock. Let's move on to the next one. So this ANF, Abercrombie and Fitch. This stock has done really well, like for a while now. Like you can go back to the weekly chart and you can see it's just a titan. This guy, like, I mean, last year to this year, it was just a titan. It just keep running and running and running and running and running. You can see, like, on my weekly chart, I have some arrows here. I was able to take some gains from this, you know, level here. Anyhow, and then we had this pullback, right? And we formed this nice base, and we came out, right? So that's what happened. Again, this stock has pretty strong fundamentals. It reported this week, and what is it for? So it reported super high number, 400%, and then now it's forecasting 208 versus $1.10, and it's roughly almost double, 89% gain. So let's look at how I traded this recently. So here's the base right here. So I started buying here, very low price, and then I sold here because it wasn't moving fast enough for me. Right here, it was just going sideways, and then I have other stocks that were really competing to be stronger. But then when it started to come near the previous high, I noticed this move right here. How many percent? Let me see that day. It's probably hard for you guys to see because this chart is really squished now. But I can tell you that day was almost a 4% move. So this 4% breakout right here was really strong, and I really like it. And I bought back in. And then I add again right here, and right here. Actually, yeah, sorry, not this one, but this two, yeah. So then the earnings came out this week. So really short period of time, you can see, and earnings went very well, as you can see, 400%, and it jumped 40%. Now, on that day, this week, right? Again, this week, remember, the index weren't doing really well, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, especially Wednesday, but this stock was really strong, and I hold on for quite most of the day. But by the end of the day, it came back down. Let me go to daily chart now, the intraday chart. See, yeah. So right here, you hold on, and then you can see this move here. I don't know what happened, but anyhow, and then it came back down quite a bit, and that's when I kind of said, hey, I gotta do some offensive selling, right? I gotta take some profit here. So I did cut half my position. The next day, it continued to go down, and I decided that even before the next day, I said, hey, where would I cut my stop? Right? Where would I take my? And I know, you know, there's no way of knowing, right? Like you said, like 2%, 5%, like 10%, like I don't know. This stock was up a lot, right? From here, I don't remember, 20% gain that day. I can't remember. Let me check. 23%. So like, and there's no really good stop because it went up so much, and you know, like I can't set it to here; it's too far away. Unless I decide to hold this stock. If I want to hold this stock, yeah, maybe I'll set it here. But you can see it's already dropping down like half, more than half, and that's the problem, right? So, you know, sometimes you have to take your gains, even if it's half or something. You have to, because if you let it come back all the way here, and the 10-day has caught up right now. It has caught up to the bottom here, which is a good thing, right? So that's one of the rule I mentioned in the previous week's video, is that, you know, see where the 10-day is. It has caught up to this stop, but like I said, I didn't want to set it at this stop. It's just too far away, and I have all these gains. I don't want to give it up. And that's what's happening. It's falling faster than I thought so far. And so it was a good decision to sell half right here, and then here. Again, I'll clear my lines here. I think I set like just a round number. I don't really remember. I don't really have any specific rule. I just say a round number around. Can't remember the price. And I just say, hey, if it tripped this price, 185, yeah, 185. It tripped that price, I just sell. Yeah, which was like I think it was like 4 or 5% from my current price at that time. And I said, hey, I'm just gonna sell, and that was it. So now, I'm gonna wait for it to consolidate, right? I don't know, usually when stocks go up this much, and this is quite extended from the base. So when I say the base, I'm talking about like, right here. This is the base. So when the stock move away farther away from the price point right here, it doesn't mean I can keep going, but usually it will consolidate after every big move. Very few stocks, okay, very few, will keep running and not consolidate. SMCI is a good example from last year. It just keep going, okay. Zim is another one that's doing it right now. Very few. I don't want to say there isn't. There's just very few stocks that will just keep running. AMF is another one, right? Like that did last year. It just keep going. But when you talk about like really extended, it was very few stocks. Okay. So yeah. So that's that. Let's go back to AMF. So like I said, I'm surprised how fast it's giving it up, because it reached a high of 190 something, and yeah, 197 almost, and now it's at 172. So you already given back $25, which is like, yeah, quite a bit. So anyhow, I like this stock a lot, so I will still pay attention to it. Never throw it away, but learn to take profit when it's super extended. Always sell something, like even if you don't want to sell it, sell 10%, 20%, just to make you feel good. And then see, if I didn't sell it there, like I don't know what decision would I make the next day, and I could have been still holding this at this level. Doesn't mean it's a wrong thing. Like some people would rather is okay with that, but like I said, risk reward. Always ask yourself, like every day, not just like what you're holding, but like think of you come into this stock today. Would you buy this? Probably not, right? At this level, probably not, because it's gone up so much that day, right? And it's extended, right? So for me, I wouldn't have bought it. So then, yeah, if you're not gonna buy it, or how soon can you buy it? That's the next question. Well, I'll wait for it to come back to the 10-day or come close to it, and see how it reacts around it. So right now it's coming back up. The strongest stock, as I always say, it comes back to the 10-day. This is the slope of the 10-day. It may not even hit the 10-day. So this might be the bottom, and then it could bounce from here. That's what it could do right now. But if it's weaker, it will probably test the 10-day, go below it underneath, and then bounce. And if it's super weak, then it'll just kind of come back to it, like I don't know, near the buy point, which is the worst thing that could happen. Then you're giving up all your gains. So that's how I trade this stock. Next one. So now I'm going to show you some stocks that are not doing so well on Friday. POWL is the next one. And there's lots of eyes on this one, because I hear on IBD this week for sure. There's a lot of people owning it. And so how did I trade this one? So this one, previously you can see a nice run right here. Make some profit here. Let's look at weekly chart. So this stock is like, it's one of the powerhouse for sure. And this is in the power equipment group, which is potentially AI related theme. But I don't know if it has anything to do with AI or not, but it definitely has moved like an AI's power utility stock. And why the chart so slow? You can see this is the earnings line that IBD has on market search, and it shows the rolling 4 quarters, and you can see right here, this is the numbers. Right? I mean, from 10 cents to now 2.75, and then next quarter 2.16. Like even this year, it's all $2. It's not growing as fast anymore. You can see it's slowing down. But Who knows? I don't know when the run is going to be over, but it forms a base, go up, forms a base, go up, forms a base. This one is a longer one, and then this was the power run right here, and then this was the last base they built, and so let's go look at how I get into this one. So this is the downtrend line. So I'll typically buy if it break above the downtrend line, and I think right here it did that. So it came out here above the downtrend line. So this is an aggressive buy point, and you can see the volume has been dwindling down as well right here on the sell side. So then it kind of moved sideways right here and didn't do much, and then it finally broke above this 10-week moving average. This is again really high volume on earnings, and I bought that day, and of course it came back and tested the 10-day, and so I think probably my stop at this point, let me reset this. So it's probably around here my stop right now. So as it was going here into this consolidation, about I think this day right here when I bought, again every time when the stop price start to bounce, again we're looking at like a pattern like this, right? It goes up, goes down, pull back, goes up, pulls back. Every time it kind of make a newer high compared to this high, I would move my stop up to this level, like close to that level. So this is what happened here. It moves up. I think I moved my stop to here. Now I was really lucky because like it never actually hit that stop, and then we had this huge day right here that just basically a breakout day. It was a big breakout day. IBD was talking about it. It was a 14% move, and then it broke out. It went on and broke out further from this higher point, but then it just kind of stalled right here. I don't know what happened Friday, honestly. I didn't think this would happen, but what happened was that you can see, okay, so let me, so right now this is where my stop is. So as it moves up right here, it keep moving up. By the 4th day, because it's so far away, I move it up here. And then 5th day, and it's too close, so I didn't move it up yet. And then 6th day, this is Wednesday. So Wednesday, because the market was in terrible condition, I've decided to do offensive selling across my whole portfolio. I don't usually do that, so I did do that on this one as well. Like I did across all my portfolio, all the stuff. So I sold on this day, and because I have enough gains here, I said, you know, let's take some. And then after that, I said let's, and then I didn't like how market trading Thursday, and I set this, you know, this stop right here. I moved the stop. I think by this time it was up here now. So I said, hey, you know, I don't like how the market trade, and again, I don't usually move that stop that fast to the near the price, unless I see something negative about the general market and leadership. And I've seen a lot of leadership starting to get hit. And so I moved the stop, like basically I just say, hey, you know, just go to the previous day. So this is Thursday, and then the previous day was right here. I just say, hey, that low will be. And then on Friday, I don't know what happened. I got stop out. And this is what happened. So here's the low I set. And this is where it fell hard. You can see a lot of people set the stops here too. So now I'm out of the stop, but at least I have a profit. So that's how I traded this stock. Again, I wouldn't, like, even though I'm out of this stock, I wouldn't let this out of my guard. I think POWL, you know, will continue to run because it's in some sort of POWL AI related group. You know, this is a late stage, like, I mean, let's see, this is second stage. Maybe it's not too late, but anyhow, on the weekly chart, it really have no damage. Like, you know, this is the cup with handle pattern, and we just near the buy point, right? But yes, if you know, it doesn't look like a big drop on the weekly chart, but like I said, this day is probably a shakeout day. I don't like how it closed at the bottom and it's on high volume, but it's not like super far down, right? So we have this consolidation here. We know a lot of people who have sold here, and now we know again this consolidation here at this level. A lot of people who have sold here. So we'll see how it goes next week, because if it starts to slowly rebound again, this could be ideal for further move on POWL. So but again, right now I'm just a little bit negative on the market conditions. Until the market conditions improve, then I can buy back in. That's something that I always do. But I don't want to let my gains dwindle. Like if this fall apart, like I'll be very sad if I give back all my gains. So that's how I trade this stock. So this last stock I want to talk about today is Moderna. It has a nice consolidation here. Let's go look at it on the weekly chart. This was obviously a high flying stock back in pandemic time. And here's the consolidation. So here's the first one, here's the second one, and this one looks really tight now. This is a nice, and it broke out. So that's where we are now. You know, again, when it comes to health stock, it's very hard to look at the fundamentals. Like it's you know, it's really a lot of it is based on speculation, perspective, and all that. So you know, I don't have as much of a fundamental rule that it has to be like, you know, certain number or something. So that's something that's what I've learned for biotech stocks. I give it more room. The key is that, you know, it definitely needs to have some sort of fundamentals. You know, whether it's a drug or something that has, you know, and you know, sometimes it's not proven. But maybe there's some good news like, hey, you got phase 2 or something approved or something, right? But anyhow, so this stock right here came out of this base right here. It was a really nice cup and then handle here. Look at how tight it was trading right here. And it came out right here on earnings. And I took my first position. Now, very quickly, I sold right here because it wasn't performing as well as others. And because, and this is a problem with position, like if you're trading like the way I trade, like looking at the top 30 list and where it is. Because sometimes it will come up to 30, but then it doesn't move for 2-3 days. Guess what? Another stock kind of, you know, came up above it, and now it's like position 30, and this one's position 32. You know, usually I don't sell if it's just a few positions. But if it give back, and you know, and then I sold it, right? So unfortunately, this was just a rotating thing. I knew this was probably wrong for me to do because I knew this stock was just pulling back really tightly. It probably, you know, could have bounced. But anyhow, this day was negative. So then I'm like, oh, maybe that I didn't make the wrong decision here. So, but you know, but then it was a shakeout right here. This was basically a shakeout, and then it started moving again. And then I think I got back in right here on this up day on huge higher volume, the highest volume since the breakout. And then it report, and then somehow it reports some news. I can't remember the exact news now. And it had this huge run. I think it was related to cancer drug. No, it was related to the chicken flu stuff, right? And yeah, and then it run quite a bit here. Yeah, so this one I don't have that big of a position, but I just want to show. So what happened here after this big move update is that it is a big move in such a short time. Like that day, 13%, but you know, if you count the last 6 days, this is easily another 10%. So it was a big move in a really short time. So I knew it was gonna bound to like consolidate again. I don't want to give up that gain, so I decided that, you know. So here's the first day. So probably I don't remember. Let's just say this was my stop, because usually it's about 3-4 days behind. But after this big update, I move it up here. I don't want to give up too much, and then the next day I want to see if it followed through. So that was the week ago, right? And then it did keep going up. So, and then I think I just decided that, hey, I need to put a stop somewhere higher. And so this was probably by Monday. Yeah, I think by Monday I decided. And then so let's see how Tuesday. Sorry, because Monday wasn't open. So Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So right here. So as the market, like you see, it wasn't even that much lower than this, but I think, yeah, I just saw it, and then it reversed at the open pretty fast. So again, I'm not saying this stock is done running. Like, the best stocks are gonna go up really fast and then come down. You know, in this case, it given up about half its gains. That's another thing that I always try to understand. How much is it giving up on its gains? And that's the problem with setting stops, right? If you set stops like me, you have to gauge where it's going to come back to. And, you know, if it's going to come back halfway, are you willing to let it come halfway back down? And usually, in this case, because the gain is so big, I wouldn't want to give back half again. You know, so versus a little, like, you know, so I'm going to go to do one more stock just because this is another probably more like Zim style stock. And this is Audio Eye. And I missed the beginning run. I talked about it last week. And this is the first pullback that I bought into it. And as you see, it goes up. I bought more. And then even here, I thought it was extended, but I still didn't care. I was like, hey, market conditions are good. I'm still gonna keep going. And then it pulled back pretty hard, and I got lucky because it didn't trip my stop. I think my stop was right here at that time. And then it goes up here, and this is when, again, I don't usually sell when market conditions are bad, but when the stocks are not acting well, right? So market conditions not doing well is one thing, but if these stocks are like, if I look at my whole list and I say, wow, they're not doing well, and they're falling the market, then that's when I start to get worried about the stocks kind of falling apart as well. And so I took an offensive sell right here on Wednesday, and then I said, hey, this day, so if I go to intraday chart now, so after I took my offensive sell right here on Wednesday, I said this is a very big gap up, like not gap up, a big up day. It should never come back down to this day. Like, this is a big day, like, you know. And I said, you know, I'm gonna let that stop be my stop. And guess what? The next day, it didn't even trip it. It came close to it. I was like, wow, it came so close to it. It didn't trip it. And then of course on Friday, even on Friday, like, okay, yeah, I think it tripped it like first thing in the morning. So where did it close on Friday? So here it tripped it on the lows, right? On Thursday, and on Friday it did come back up really strong. Lots of volume, you can see right here on the last hour. So I don't know, maybe the stocks still have room to run. But for me, you know, yeah, let's see how this goes. You know, it's getting really obvious now, and it's very extended from 200 day. Usually they stay for 200 day, if it's 100 to 200%, like usually, let's just say the average 150, you probably don't want to hold it longer, or at least start to take profit. So we at like the 200 day here. I can see the price from the pop-up, $7.91. So let's just round it up $8, right? So we are around $24. Is exactly 200% above. So 100 and 200% based on IBD study is usually where the top happens. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for watching this video. If you like anything about this, please like and subscribe so I can make more videos like this. Thank you.